Hello everybody and welcome to this week in astrology. It is our Monday night date. I'm live every Monday night on both Facebook and Instagram, or if you're watching this on the pre-recorded version on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, welcome. This is Monday Night with Gretchen Hidell, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I am here to talk to you about this week in astrology. I love when you guys post your astrological sign and also where you are viewing from, because it just makes me happy. And plus it's kind of interesting. I've never shared this before on Monday night, but basically back before COVID, I used to do a lot of live sort of gigs, and I used to do sometimes parties, events, different things, and basically it would be very fascinating to me. I would do these, like, let's say a wedding, or let's say a work party, and there would always be these themes of people, signs, astrological signs that hung out with each other. For example, one time I did a party and like everybody that night was a Gemini or a Capricorn. It was like, it's just very interesting how groups of people tend to have these astrological signs in common, and it's very interesting. So anyway, if you guys are joining me live here on Facebook or on Instagram, welcome. So Rita, Virgo in Colorado, welcome. Hector, Aries in Florida, welcome. Almir, Taurus in Vermont, welcome. So if you're just joining, go ahead and post below your astrological sign. It's a little, for some reason, Instagram's a little slow going tonight. It was saying that there was like a hold up, but it looks like some people are joining on Instagram. Marianne, hey, welcome. Aries in Vermont. Colette, also, hello Astro friends. She said, I love this Monday night community. Everybody is just so awesome and positive. Capricorn in Vermont is Colette. Welcome. So we have a big week in astrology, as I'm always saying, it seems. And last week, I don't know if you guys think about what happened last week. Oh my goodness. So if you guys saw my post from yesterday on Facebook and on Instagram, I posted the map of the Gulf Coast there, and the astrology behind the hurricane that came, Hurricane Ida, that hit. I didn't print out the map. I didn't think to do that ahead of time, so my bad. But hey, Andrea, Aries in Vermont. Melinda, hello, Melinda. I owe you a text. Capricorn in Williston, welcome. So anyway, so you guys, there was a lot of astrological energy, clearly, from last week into even this weekend. And I was talking about how Mercury is very active right now, really active. So all day Sunday, all day today, Monday, Mercury is very active. And when I say active, I mean the planet Mercury is active, and it's activating the two signs that it rules, which is Gemini and Virgo. So Virgo, Gemini, and Mercury, if you're one of those two signs, you might be feeling this energy. It's a lot of energy. And so the Mercury line was going right into the Gulf Coast, right through Louisiana, right through New Orleans, and also just off to the side, but still within the distant rings. Basically, it's one of those things that Mars and Neptune were activated as well. So we had Mars, Neptune, and Mercury all activated in that particular location. So I do send prayers out to all the people that are affected by that hurricane, and that was a lot of craziness. But we also have other things going on too. So I was wondering how your week was last week, and if you guys are feeling all of that energy. Now the interesting thing is, and I said this to a couple of my friends, I was like, things are going to die down with the hurricane and sort of back off a little bit once we get over the hump of what I nicknamed, you guys know if you watch my Monday night videos, I call the last quarter lunar cycle the second chance full moon. And that took place overnight between Sunday and Monday, the 29th and 30th. It was exactly 3:13 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. So like 12:13 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, just after midnight. And so basically that's the second chance full moon, which is really actually a half a moon. So it's so many names and so many things, but it was basically Sun in Virgo and squaring the moon in Gemini. And so again, here we go, Virgo and Gemini, Mercury, Virgo, Gemini, Mercury, Virgo, you know, so it's like a theme that we're dealing with. So that took place overnight. So sometimes when we have a second chance full moon, or what is called the last quarter lunar cycle, we're continuing the work of the former full moon. So the former full moon was in the air sign of Aquarius. Now this half a moon is in the air sign Gemini. So if you think of air, think of hurricanes, right? And so that's kind of activating this energy. And I was saying to one of my friends that there was going to be really like widespread power outages and internet being down, because if you think of Mercury is how we communicate, and so our communication was being shut down. It was almost like a big Mercury retrograde that we were dealing with there. And also overnight, between Sunday and Monday, today, on Monday, the day of the broadcast, on the August 30th, 2021, Mercury moved into Libra today. So Libra is also an air sign. So if you think of Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, all the air signs are being really activated right now. So that's also happening as well. Hey, Gloria from Florida, welcome. I wanted to see this post here from Monica. You got a diagnosis. That is awesome. Sorry though that there was 3 tests and an EKG. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. So we will have to talk about that, huh? That's crazy energy there. Hey, welcome everybody who's on Instagram. I haven't heard, nobody said hi, but people are hanging out. So welcome on Instagram if you're there. If you're just joining, go ahead and post your astrological sign and where you're viewing from. And hey, if you're feeling super generous, like this post and share it with your friends, because that's how the word gets out. So thank you everybody that does that for me. It's amazing. And you're helping the cause here. You're helping the word to be spread. And I do feel like astrology helps us, like to know that we're not crazy, and that, we're on the right path and we're on the right track, and all those things is something that astrology can help us with. So anyway, so getting back to Mercury moving into Libra, why is this important? And that happened today at 1:10 a.m. Eastern time, so overnight between Sunday and Monday. So we're going to be Mercury in Libra for a long time, because usually Mercury is in each sign for 2.5 weeks. We're getting into Mercury retrograde. So this is going to be the last retrograde of 2021. Can we say okay, clapping like this post if you like that. The last retrograde. So basically what the deal is with Mercury retrograde is that it's coming at the end of September. So between August 30th all the way until November 5th, Mercury is going to be hanging out in the astrological sign of Libra. So we're going to be deep diving into Mercury and Libra. Now, I wrote today a little bit on my post about how that's going to be kind of wonky a little bit. Here's the thing. Libra is all about relationships, partnerships, collaboration, okay, getting along, being peaceful. Now, sometimes, so Libra's the scales, right? And if you think of Lady Justice in the United States, okay, that's Libra is the scales, okay? So it's all about balance, it's all about fairness, it's all about all those things. Libras, though, it's so funny because they're peace and fairness and balance, but I know so many Libras that can argue both sides of a situation. So they like to get into some debates, they like to play like angels or devil's advocate, right? All those things is very Libra oriented. So when you think about that, you think, oh, relationship about, oh, that's great with the Libra. The only thing is that this is Mercury we're talking about. Mercury is thinking. Mercury is your brain processes. So a lot of people get confused, and I was kind of trying to address that in my post. you have to think of all of these different astrological signs being in these different departments, okay? And they all have different functions. It's like the CEO is different from the CFO, okay? And it's different from the HR department, which is different from the janitorial department, okay? And all of those departments are what makes up the company in a way. I like to kind of use that as an example. So if you think about it, Mercury is the department of your thoughts, speech and language, and also how we move about in the world and taking trips and all that. That's why people say don't travel when it's Mercury retrograde, right? Because of Mercury is associated with travel. So if you think about travel, our thought processes, and how we speak, we're going to be speaking and talking and thinking a lot about relationships. The only catch here is, and I'm always reminding my Geminis of this, by the way, and my Virgos too, because you guys are Mercury ruled, so you're ruled by your thoughts. But the thing is that you have to feel your feelings when you're in relationships. And that's not a cerebral process, because, you know, love sometimes it doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, sometimes love is totally the opposite of making sense, you know. And so this is about being a little bit more detached, which is good sometimes. I think we need a little logic, but we have to always remember we have to feel it too. And Libra, even though Libra's life lesson is relationships, life lesson is partnerships, life lesson is caring and sharing and all that stuff, you'll have to feel it too. You have to feel, what are your feelings? You can't just like think your way through this. Now, when we talk about Mercury, again, this is like kind of how we're collaborating and how we're speaking and all that, but we're in the relationship zone. Libra is a relationship sign, and really that's the thing. So we have to always remember that sometimes Libras can be a little bit too overgiving, a little bit too oversharing, a little bit too acquiescing, okay? So we have to watch that, because Libra is predisposed a little bit. If Libra is not well placed in your chart, can be a little bit predisposed to being codependent. So we have to watch that sort of thing, because we're thinking and thinking and thinking, well, if it feels like crap, don't do it, right? If it feels bad, this is feeling bad. And then Libra can get in their head and go, but no, they said this, they had a bad day, they did that. That's all thinking. That's ignoring the feelings. So I want to make sure that we remember with Mercury and Libra, which is very cerebral, we still have to remember that we have to feel our feelings in relationships, not just think about our feelings. You know, there's a difference. I had a Gemini one time tell me, I think I'm about to fall in love. I think it's going to happen at any minute. I think it's getting closer and closer. And I was like, no. You have to feel that. You have to get into your body and feel that. So what's the difference between thoughts and feelings? Very quickly, just to review. Feelings are a thought that is experienced in the physical body. Okay, so how do I know I'm sad? I maybe cried a little bit, or I got a little choked up. How do I know I'm happy? Okay, I felt that feeling. Okay, so it's a thought that is experienced in the body. So not just like I'm detached and I'm just thinking about sadness. I don't know, that's really sad. See, I'm not feeling that. I'm just thinking about it. So feeling is feeling it in your body. So just to let you guys know, we have a very cerebral Mercury moving into this Libra context of relationships and partnerships. And we have to remember that we have to feel our feelings. And if something doesn't feel right, we don't do it. And so remember that, because that's kind of like the thing. Hey Hans, how are you tonight? Beautiful pictures, love those. Amir, that would explain why my job interview went very well today. You were very articulate and didn't have verbal mishaps. Perfect. Lauren, yep, what's your stuff and what's other people's feelings is so key, resonating. Right, yeah, so you have to feel your own feelings about things. Now, you know, Almir put up a good point. That's the cautionary tale of Mercury and Libra, is that we get a little too detached from what it is. It's an airy Mercury, so we're kind of up in the air space. But the good part of Mercury is it kind of can make our interactions a little bit more diplomatic, we'll just say, and a little bit more peaceful and a little bit more, smoothing it over. In other words, it's very much almost like completely the opposite of Mercury in Aries, which is like kind of like blunt, in your face. I'm just gonna say it to you and not care. That's not, but we have to remember sometimes when we get too much into Libra, we can kind of lose our sense of self. So that, because remember, Aries and Libra are opposite of each other. So that's the cautionary tale with Mercury and Libra, but otherwise it's quite lovely. And if you need to smooth over edges, if you need to have an apology, if you need to, or apologize, if you need to just smooth something over, Mercury and Libra is your thing. And we're going to keep talking about Mercury and Libra, like I said, more and more and more all month, and really until November, because Mercury is going to go retrograde in Libra. It's going to get all the way. So Mercury today is at 0 degrees Libra. It's going to go all the way to 25 degrees Libra, and then it's going to back up. So we're going to have a deep dive in the Libra zone. So it depends on where Libra is in your astrological chart in order to know how that's going to affect you on a personal level. It's good to know what area or what house Libra is in. But we're getting a little jump start here on Libra season. So Shelly, Cancer in New Mexico, welcome, welcome. Katrina from Maine, she's Sagittarius, welcome. Perfect, I love that. Welcome to everybody here that's silent on Instagram. No one's commenting, like saying hi or anything, but I welcome you guys. You guys are, don't say anything. Don't make any noise. But anyway, so Mercury is going to be in Libra for all this time. So we're going to get a deep dive into that. So I just wanted to kind of explain what the deal is with that. And we're going to be talking about relationships and thinking about them. And, and by the way, Libra is not only just good for relationships, but it's also good for business partnerships as well. So anybody that you have to work like this, okay, with, or a teammate, a team member on your team in work or something, a bandmate, okay, any kind of time you have two people that really have to collaborate, really have to come together, really have to work as a team, that is Libra. And so that can help all of those type of relationships. It's just remember to retain your sense of self and retain your autonomy if you can. I mean, it's hard. It's going to be like, I always say when the astrological tides come in, it's like tides in the ocean, and it tries to pull you out with it. So you can have consciousness. This is where you can consciously create your reality. You can have consciousness and go, oh, Gretchen said I have to remember to also stay in my lane too a little bit, and I have to think about myself and feel what feels right to me. So someone else can try to pull you out. Mercury and Libra is going to try to pull you out, and you have to kind of say, and you might want to go out, you might want to lean into that friendship and that collaboration and that relationship. You just don't want to lose yourself. That's all. That's the only downside to that. So we have some planetary things that are going to be happening this week as well. So to start the week, today is the moon is going to be in Gemini until, actually the moon's still in Gemini today, tomorrow, until Wednesday, overnight on Wednesday. So if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be on Tuesday night. 1:26 a.m. Eastern time on September 1st. That will be, the moon is going to be in Cancer, so it's going to go Gemini and then Cancer. Cancer, we feel our feelings. Gemini is Mercury, so we're kind of thinking about all of this stuff. Cancer's feeling the feelings, so home and family and feeling the feelings for 3 days. So we're going to have the first, the second, and then the third, okay, we're going to be feeling our feelings. And then we go into Leo on Friday, the 3rd. That's going to be 11:58 a.m. Eastern time. So again, 8:38 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. And then we move into audacious, proud, a little egotistical Leo, and we become show-offs and performing art people for a couple days, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. on the 5th, the moon will move into Virgo again. So I shouldn't say again, but the moon will go into Virgo. So because then we're going to be in Virgo land, because we'll be at the new moon on Monday the 6th, which is next week. So we're going to be sun and moon are in Virgo, right? It's Virgo season. So that'll be our next new moon. So for those of you that are Virgos out there, or that have a lot of earth in your chart, you're going to have this wonderful Virgo energy very, very activated for you on Monday, Sunday into Monday, and then of course Tuesday as well. So Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and then Virgo at the end of the week. So those are the signs. Now, somebody messaged me and said, what does it mean if the moon, if your sun sign is in the same sign that the moon is in, okay, that week? Okay, so let's say you're a Cancer, and then all of us, you are a Cancer. Your sun sign is Cancer, and then the moon is in Cancer. Well, that's like your personal new moon. You know, so when the sun and the moon come together, that's like your personal new moon in that sign. It's not everybody else's new moon, it's your new moon. So when we talk about manifesting, we talk about wanting to harvest something new. We want to talk about really tapping into our feelings, because the moon is always our feelings. Then that would be your particular time. So for example, I'm an Aries sun. So when the moon is in Aries, I feel good. I feel like, woohoo, like I'm on my game. So it depends on what your moon sign is, if you know your moon sign. But it's a good idea to find that stuff out, because if you know what your moon sign is, then you'll know how you're going to end up feeling, and kind of what your best, one of your best lunar cycles could be, because that can be a very positive lunar cycle for you when the moon is in the same sign as your sun. So thank you for that person that asked that question, and I get ideas of what to talk about sometimes from you guys, and when you ask me questions, and I hadn't answered that one, so I wanted to make sure I talked about that. So that's why I always announce every week what is the sign of the moon is going to be in, because then you can know how to plan your life accordingly, which is really fun. So basically what's going to happen this week is there's a couple of kind of things. So on Wednesday and on Sunday, so basically the 1st and the 5th, Ceres, an asteroid, is going to be forming a trine with Saturn and Mercury. Okay, trine is this. It's good. Okay, they're all going to be in earth signs. So, and then Mercury's going to form a trine with Saturn on the 4th. So there's going to be a trine kind of pattern, which is a triangle. When I say trine, it means like this. And so I'll show you in I'll do a little triangle here. There we go. There's my art for today. So a trine is basically this, where these planets are kind of a triangle, that's a grand trine right there, where they come together in a pattern of 3. But a trine basically means that one planet is in the other planet's element. So this is all going to be in air. So Ceres right now is in Gemini. Mercury just went into Libra, and then we have Saturn going to be in Aquarius. So this is a grand earth trine is what this is. So in other words, Ceres, Saturn, Mercury. Okay, there's a grand earth trine going on. And so basically that's kind of like the pattern right now, and they're all going to be trying each other, which is wonderful. So I wanted to talk about what is Ceres, because I haven't really talked much on my channel here about Ceres and how that will affect people. Ceres is really fun in astrology. She is called the Great Mother. That's kind of her nickname, and she is a goddess. A lot of the asteroids are goddesses, where the other planets are gods, you know, except for Venus. Ceres is a goddess, and so she's very mothering, she's very nurturing, she's very caretaking. It is said in an astrological chart, because she's a harvest goddess or an agricultural goddess, that she rules over eating, you know, I mean, food, eating, nourishment, vitamins, any kind of thing that you put in your body as far as food goes. Okay, she's the goddess to look at. In fact, in an astrological chart, she's very interesting because if she's afflicted, meaning that she's not in a great position or there's some kind of problem with her in your natal birth chart, she can be a teller of a predisposition toward having a eating disorder or a problem with food. And so she's a very interesting goddess. Now, in Vermont here, we have a statue of Ceres actually in our state capital, and she's a beautiful statue, all made out of gold, because Vermont is an agricultural state, so we use her as like a symbol, which is pretty funny. So she's really awesome. Now, Ceres in astrology was interesting because, like I said, she was the great mother. So she's all about being a mama bear. Right now she's in Gemini, so she's a Gemini mom. Okay, so she's probably got 2 jobs. She's probably multitasking. She's got a bunch of projects of her own. She's very social mom. She's a very active mom. Ceres is kind of like who your mom is. So she's really awesome. So, and there's a whole debate going on, I think, right now that I'm reading about who's Greek and who's Roman. Yes, so astrology is Roman mythology, so that's her name, Ceres, in Roman mythology. So anyway, so getting back to Ceres, why is she important? So we're going to be plugging the great father, who's Saturn. Remember, I call Saturn Big Daddy Saturn. Then we got the great mom, Ceres. And then we got Mercury, who is like a sibling or a cousin. All of them are kind of coming back together, okay? All of them are aligning, I should say, in air. It's going to be Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So, but trines are positive. So if you have mama issues, that's another thing. If Ceres is afflicted in your chart, you could have mama issues. You might have even had a toxic mother, or a mother that, you know, you have some childhood stuff around. So in astrology, she's considered to be a kind mom, a gentle mom. And of course, right now, she's a Gemini mom, so she's #busy, okay? Gemini moms are busy. They maybe have jobs and they're multitasking moms, okay? And they're very social moms, you know, they're the ones that are doing like everything at once. They're making dinner, they're helping with the kids, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff, okay? So Ceres in Gemini is kind of fun as a mom. And so mom and dad are active right now, okay? And they're going to be involving Mercury, which is us talking, thinking, and communicating. So this could be quite beneficial. These grand air trines can be quite beneficial, though it can be a lot of energy all at one time. And we just saw this weekend, we had a grand earth energy, and yikes, I mean, look what happened to our Mother Earth. I mean, there's all these fires raging this weekend, and there's a hurricane and stuff like that. So you know, we want to we want the gods and the goddesses to calm down, okay? So anyway, so when we get to Ceres can really help us with talking, okay, communicating and healing, being nurturing and really healing and smoothing over communication. Communication is going to be quite, this whole week, pretty beneficial, I would say. The only glitch this week, so that's going to be, like I said, if you break it all down, Ceres is going to form a trine with Saturn, so that's mom and dad working together. So if you have a goal, a plan, something that you want to do, if you want to actually adopt a pet, bring in a new child, okay, feed yourself some good food, any kind of thing like that, take really good care of yourself. I mean, when you see mom needs some self-care, okay, Ceres aligning with Saturn can be real self-discipline and self-care and all that stuff. That's really awesome. Okay, and then like I said, on Saturday, Mercury is going to form a trine with Saturn, and that's going to come to a peak on Saturday. So that's really, that's using less words, but it's positive communication. Hopefully, you know, being able to speak from your heart and from where you're coming from, stating your needs, all of that stuff, that can be positive. Remember, Mercury's in Libra, Saturn's in Aquarius, and then on Sunday the 5th, Mercury and Ceres are going to form a trine with each other. And again, playing well with others. So all of that can be quite positive. The only glitch is Saturn, and Saturn can be a curmudgeon sometimes. We know Big Daddy Saturn can be a little grumpy at times, so we just want to make sure that we speak with less words, because all this air energy has a lot of words, and we might want to get it down to bullet points and just keep to what's important. So I keep going back to this. I really feel this week we have to stay with our feelings and really express ourselves from a state of how we're feeling. Not you did this and you did that and and all that kind of stuff, but how did this feel to you, and how are you feeling? And staying with that. But other than that, this can be very, very, very positive for writing a book, for writing songs, writing poetries, any kind of writing, really. Expressing yourself, constructing an email, talking to a boss, talking to a supervisor, talking to your parents, okay? Any kind of thing where you have, or talking to friends, any kind of thing with words is going to be good. It's just with Saturn, we want to make it a little less words. Keep it to what's important and trim the fat. Get away with, okay? Usually when I do my dating and relationship coaching, I usually say, okay, write out all the things you want to write out, for a dating profile. For example, you write out a dating, and then delete like half of that, okay? And keep it short and to the point of what you want. But yeah, you want to speak from your heart, okay? Use less words is my advice, and keep it short and sweet. Short and sweet, because mom and dad, they're busy. They got things to do. So that's going to be on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. But really, as you can hear, active this whole entire week. The glitch this week comes on Thursday. Okay, so, and when I say Thursday, when I always say this, it drives me nuts when people go, but you just said Thursday. Okay, it's Thursday, but it's going to be active in the backdrop. This is the problem area. Mars in Virgo is going to form an opposition to Neptune in Pisces. So when this is going to be the peak or the height of it. So remember, it's like walking up Mount Everest. This is the peak, and then we come down. Okay, and that's on Thursday. It's going to be on September 2nd at 1:43 p.m. Eastern time, so a little earlier than that on the West Coast. I guess that's 11:43 a.m. 1, yes, I think that's right. So anyway, I can't think about math when I'm trying to read two screens. Hey Emma, how are you? Good to see you on Instagram. Finally somebody commented on Instagram here. Yay. Emma, Libra. Oh, and Kathy's there too. Pisces, perfect. Welcome you guys. That's awesome. Lee said exactly the advice I need right now. Thank you. Monica said, speak with less words. Yes, you need to hear that mantra. Kristen, we love you, Kristen. Okay, so in our Monday Night Astrological community last week, we sent Kristen lots of healing, lots of prayers, because she did have a procedure, and we sent her lots of Reiki, and she is saying thank you for all the positive energy. If you guys want to like her post on Facebook, go ahead. It's Kristen, but she's saying it's much appreciated, so you are welcome. We got your back. So if anybody needs that or wants that, you can definitely post that below. If you guys need extra positive energy, we can for sure do that for you. We love our Monday night community here. So, and thank you guys for sharing and liking these posts, because that shares it with the world, and then we get all these new people that join us, and it's like one big happy Monday night family here. So I said the only one glitch is going to be on Thursday, but we also have another one on Saturday too, so I missed that. But anyway, let's go to Thursday first. Mars in Virgo opposing Neptune. Why is this a problem? So Mars is your action, your gumption, your get up and go, your and Neptune is loss of energy. Neptune is dreaming and sleeping and imagining and meditating and praying and chanting and all that stuff. Now, is that bad? No. I mean, but when you have to get to work on time, it can be. So Neptune is illusions, delusions, and all that. Now we have to remember Neptune is still retrograde right now, and Mars forming an opposition with Neptune. These two things can really in other words, Neptune kind of makes Mars lose some steam here. It's not a terrible thing, but it is just, it's like it's just like you can be a little extra sleepy, a little extra tired, a little, maybe not, as fiery as usual. You might want to pray, chant, meditate, do yoga, okay? Anything that's flowy, Pilates, yoga, stretching, resting, all of that stuff is having a rest day. That can be very Neptunian. Boating and swimming and all that kind of stuff is Neptune, but you just want to make sure you're really careful when you do that, because Neptune and Mars are not getting along right now. They're kind of fighting a little bit. They're in the sky fighting. So we'll be feeling this all week in the backdrop from this beautiful trine that we had. These other two will kind of be, so for sure as we get closer to Thursday, we might start to kind of go, I'm feeling a little out of sorts. I feel a little wonky. I feel a little run down. So just make sure you really try to get some extra sleep and all that. Remember, Ceres wants us to eat really well and take good care of our bodies and nourish ourselves, nourish our souls, and all of that stuff. I mean, so that is a thing. So Ceres is trying to get us to take good care of our bodies, because as we get closer to Thursday, there's this wonky energy. And if you're going to have a day where you call it a crash day, you're just kind of like, ugh, I just don't want to go to work, or I just don't want to, do whatever, that might be that day. So the best use of that energy is non-technical things, non-linear things. It's more of like that really beautiful, flowing, creative energy, where you don't really have to be anywhere on time, and you can kind of just drift and dream and go throughout your day. Then you might not even notice this energy. You might just feel like, I just all of a sudden, like, the day ended. I don't know what happened. I just kind of was doing my thing, and suddenly it just was over, I mean, that's kind of the way Neptune can be. Remember, Neptune is still retrograde, so Neptune is about revealing lies and delusions and illusions. Now, luckily, this particular transit only happens once every 2 years, so we haven't had it, since 2019, and the next time that we'll have it is going to be in 2023. So this is just the one time that Mars and Neptune in 2 years period of time is going to be doing this opposition thing, but it is kind of a Debbie Downer, a little bit of a drag, because it can make us feel a little bit just kind of lackadaisical, we'll just say, and being lackadaisical is not a bad thing. A famous Neptunian-ruled person, Albert Einstein, who was a Pisces, always said that imagination is even more important than knowledge. Imagination is more important because he felt that the space that our brain goes into to rest and play and drift and imagine. I mean, we all have had those moments where we take a shower and it's like we come up with the best ideas ever. That's basically very Neptunian. So, Neptune's just confusing sometimes because it enhances our intuition, and yet it also enhances confusion. So I always say, again, if we get into what I'm kind of laying out here, if we feel our feelings, if something doesn't feel right on Thursday or Wednesday or Tuesday, don't do it. Okay, because something's off. And sometimes that's how intuition just comes in. It's just a feeling. A lot of people, and I say just a feeling, but empaths especially, that's how they perceive. If you're empathic, if you're someone who can feel other people's feelings and emotions, that's how you're receiving your energy. So if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. So Neptune transits, you want to stay away from signing contracts. You want to stay away from big purchases. In other words, if you have to really look at the bottom line or fine print, Neptune's not your friend, okay? Because Neptune can be a little murky and cloudy. So we want to stay away from that. But somebody said something here. Oh, Hans, you're throwing it all away Thursday. Margarita's at Hans's house. Right. I mean, that's kind of what Neptune's good for. So if you can take the day off, even better. I mean, if you have to work and you can take the time off, that would be great. Or leave Thursday be a light day for yourself. If you can get through the rest of your week, and then, Thursday, you're going to be a little out of it. No biggie. Now, I said there's two glitches. So on Thursday and then on Sunday, as we get into the the new moon zone, it gets really complicated. I'm just going to say really complicated. This new moon is what we call fully loaded. And I'm going to go over that more in next week's video. One of the things about next week is Gretchen is taking off on Labor Day. It is going to be Monday, Labor Day. And I'm going to take off. However, I am going to be posting on YouTube a pre-recorded version of the Monday night video. So you guys are going to have to subscribe to YouTube, Gretchen Hidell on YouTube, to get that notification and to get that video. But I will be posting that video. So I just want to show you, because I always highlight, look at Monday. That's all Monday. And then we got this guy here. Okay, this is a lot. Okay, so this new moon is going to be really complicated. I'm not going to go over the whole new moon in this particular broadcast because it's next week. But what I am going to say is there's a lot of energy. One of the things that I don't like about this energy is Venus is going to form a square with Pluto on Sunday. And then the next day, Mars is going to form a trine with Pluto. Yikes. So, now everybody's asking me what's the name of my calendar. You guys can go on Amazon and buy this. I am not sponsored by any way, shape, or form, but it's Llewellyn's Astrological Calendar 2021, if you guys can see it. And it tells you all of the dates, which is really lovely and fun. I have many astrological tools that I use, not just this calendar, though this calendar is kind of my main deal, but I do even more, and I mark it all up so you guys can see. I'll show you, like this is last month. I have my calendar all marked up and ready to go. This is a full-time astrologer's calendar here. So I'm like looking at the dates and times and charts and graphs. I have all kinds of ways of telling. But transits to Pluto are a little what we will call yucky. It's the hornet's nest, remember. I mean, Pluto can be really hardcore. It's death, it's rebirth, it's transformation, it's Phoenix rising. Unfortunately, even when there's positive alignments with Pluto, such as Monday, Mars is going to form a trine with Pluto. Mars, the god of war, and Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth and transformation, are going to come together. Yikes. So there can be definitely a rise in violence. We see a lot of rise in violence on the news. We can see a lot of school shootings back when that was a thing. And thankfully, in a weird way, COVID kind of stopped that. I guess if that's a positive way of looking at it, I don't know. But there's a lot of, so this new moon is not going to be a light and fluffy new moon. This new moon is going to be a little bit more hardcore. So that basically is the deal, and it can be a doozy. So it's going to start on Sunday when Venus forms a square with Pluto. That's 11:07 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday the 5th. Okay. Now, Venus, is in Libra, and it's going to be forming a square with Pluto and Capricorn. They're both in boss signs. They're called cardinal. They're both in boss signs, Libra and Capricorn, and they're squaring each other, and squaring each other means just like it's squaring off. Okay, so they're not getting along right now, and that is our love zone, squaring Pluto, which is the not fun zone. And then we got Mars, the god of war, the next day going after Pluto. Like, Pluto's going to be really active during this new moon, so please use caution. Remember, hopefully we'll harness some of that lovely Libra energy so we can get along with everybody. Don't do the fight to the death, okay? That's not what we want to do with with Pluto at all. We don't want to do any kind of, look, somebody can fight. Oh, okay. You're right. I'm going to go over here now. Okay? Don't get in an argument. Don't get into a road rage situation. Just kind of stay in your lane and do your thing. Remember, stick with your feelings. Your feelings. You don't want to acquiesce or like overly bend, you can always pick another day or a time to do that battle, just not during those transits. Anytime we're tiptoeing around a Pluto transit, you don't want to accidentally kick the hornet's nest. I mean, we want those hornets to stay asleep, okay? And so that's what Pluto is like. Pluto, given even just a little touch of a Pluto can be, so you just want to just calmly and quietly go past the Pluto nest, okay? That's basically what I always say. So I hope that helps. So we actually have mostly a very, very positive week, except for when we get into next weekend where it gets a little sketchy with this new moon stuff and the Pluto transits and the Mars transits and all those things. But that Ceres, Mercury, Saturn thing could be quite lovely, actually. And like I said, mothering, nurturing, and then we got that Saturn, mommy and daddy are looking after us. Yay! Planetary wise, so that could be good. Hopefully they're very nice parents. I want them to be like Leave It to Beaver parents or something. Nice mom and a nice dad, or somebody that's like a good parent, whoever you think is good. So if you are a parent yourself, or even a grandparent, this is very good for relations with your grandbabies or your babies. And this can also be very good if you are a fur mom or a fur dad, okay? And that can be very good for doing things related to your baby, your pet babies, okay? So that can be a fun thing too. So I hope that helps. That's this week in astrology. So if anybody has any questions, I'm taking some questions here. We did have that, quarter moon today, and so we got over that kind of point, and that was a little bit sticky and a little bit funky. But basically, the rest of the week, like I said, looks good. I'm trying to read. Somebody posted. Sometimes when the post is long, I can't see the whole thing. Okay, Lauren, career, will I get a new job soon? Okay, let's do one for Lauren. Monica, I couldn't read all of that. I'm not sure what it says. But I'm going to pull a card for Lauren. Hey, Instagram, if you guys have any questions, let me know. It's so quiet on Instagram tonight. I just, let's see. And please, if you guys hit that heart button, like the post. That will actually kind of help it to go up to the top if anybody wants to do that. Lauren, what does Lauren need to know about a new career? I'm going to pull a different deck, Lauren, for you. You're getting a great card about that, by the way. You're getting the card of love, money, and creativity all in one, which is perfect. Love, money, and creativity, Lauren. That's a really good card, just so that you guys know. And that means that Lauren can make money from creativity. Love what you do what you love, make money at it. I'm sorry, Lauren, I just was reading Monica's post while I pulled that card, so that card was for Monica, but I will get back to you, Monica, in a second. Your energy's flying into the ethers here, so I'm concentrating on Lauren's question. What does Lauren need to know about her career? Yeah. So, Lauren, this is something that I feel like you've been working on for a while, but you have a lot of it's still inside of you. Like, it feels like, that photograph that is famous where you see the tip of the iceberg above the ocean, and then below it's like this huge iceberg. Lauren, that's what I feel like this career change is like for you. I feel like there's like only this much that you show or that you've been showing, and there's so much more that you have to offer, and there's so much more beneath the surface that you haven't really let out yet. And so, Lauren, for you, I really feel like as if you can spread your wings, okay, and become more of the person you are. You're getting the card Vision Board. So I don't know if you guys can see it here on Instagram, Vision Board. Okay. And so basically what the message is, create a board with images and words that inspire you. So vision boarding is another way of manifesting. It's a tool that we use for manifestation. And so I really feel like as if for you, Lauren, you're going to be continuing to work on this. It doesn't feel like it's totally ready yet, but it's so close. It's just so close. So I want you to keep going and keep imagining and really come out with it, because I feel like it's a secret to everyone but yourself. Like, I feel like you kind of already know what you want to do, and I do think it even might have to do with doing, you know, maybe something that's more spiritual in nature that you're going to be pursuing. So keep us posted. That sounds wonderful. So Monica, when I accidentally pulled a card for you, because I read your question and then I drew the card, so I'm sorry, Lauren, that interrupted that. But Monica, you got the card Speeches and Speaking. Okay, literally Speeches and Speaking. So I don't know, there was something, oh, you're leading a ceremony tomorrow and you would appreciate a card. So it's funny because when I read that question, that's when Speeches and Speaking came out. So you have an important message to deliver that can help others, okay? And so I feel like you're going to be fine. I feel like you're going to channel your speech and channel your thoughts and channel what it is you need to do. So I would just ask the angels, the spirit guides. By the way, Archangel Gabriel is very good for helping to, like, if you need to give a speech or you need to give a presentation or you need to teach a class or any kind of thing like that, Archangel Gabriel is the messenger sort of angel, so you can definitely ask Archangel Gabriel. You wrote a couple of posts about this, so I don't have a way of like going back, but you said your friend passed away suddenly. You're meeting siblings, memorial service. You wrote sudden death of your friend. Oh no. He was to fly back to Alaska. I'm so sorry. I mean, he passed away recently, which I, as a respect to the soul and to the spirit, I don't contact them immediately after passing, which I've talked about in previous videos. But I just want to kind of ask if he's okay, if he's crossed over okay, everything's good with him. Yeah, the angels came over. So he was having problems there. I mean, I don't want to go too deep into his personal, because again, he just passed, and it's I don't want to say out loud, but on live broadcast, and everybody is giving our condolences, Monica, for your friend. So if anybody wants to give condolences to Monica, feel free. But this person had a lot of problems. We'll just say he overcoming difficulties. Look, he's flying now. He's soaring. Okay, and leadership means in this context, an angel came and took him. Okay, so he wasn't, even though it maybe felt like he was alone, he wasn't alone. Like, I do feel like the angels came in and lovingly supported him and took him. So I do feel like he's crossed over. I feel like he's okay. And actually free, because I feel like, not that he wanted to necessarily be dead or something, but I feel like he wanted to be free from these problems he was having. There's a lot of problems. So I'm just going to say overcoming difficulty card means that he's free. And it's a beautiful message on the card. So Archangel Jeremiah said, the worst is now behind you and you're surmounting any previous challenges. So I actually feel he was released from his challenges. And so I hope that that helps. I'm really sorry for your loss, Monica, and I think you're going to be fine. So just channel the message that you need to give tomorrow, the speech at the memorial service. Just channel it and let it go. that's what it feels like. Feels like you'll have the right words. The angels are trying to help you. Okay. On Instagram finally woke up. Yay! Friedman. Oh, Desiree. How are you? I don't know if you remember me. I met you like so many years ago when you were younger. So it's cool that you found my post here. I have a review coming soon at work. Will it go well? So I'm going to pull a card for Desiree here. Desiree. If you're still on, go ahead and comment below. What does Desiree need to know about her review coming, okay, from work? What does she need to know? Hopefully it's this week, because we got all that good, beneficial energy that you might hear really good news. I actually feel like you might get a pay raise, but let me look at this and see, Desiree. Yep. Good news coming. Desiree hasn't commented on Instagram here, but so you're getting great cards, Desiree. I'm hoping that you can still hear this message, but you're getting really good cards. You're getting previous challenges. Oh yeah, she's here. The review is going to be around the 11th, so that's Saturday. So yeah, that'll be well away from all of that weird energy in the beginning of next week. There's weird energy on the 5th and 6th, but as we get further and deeper into the week, on the around the 10th and 11th, it will go better. So Desiree, you're getting a really good card. You're getting a really good card. It was upright when I pulled it, and that's called the Scepter card. So the Scepter is a card that I nicknamed "Try again, and you will succeed." So you might have been really trying at this, or planning this, or whatever. In other words, you've had to really try hard to get this, but I do feel that you're going to get it. This is an award, a reward, a bonus for a job well done. Mercury is, you're going to hear good news. Okay, so that's Mercury. And then this is attaining a long-term goal. So Star of Magi is attaining a long-term goal, meaning that this little guy here followed the North Star. He had a goal and he achieved his goal. So you're getting great cards on this review. So I do feel like you're going to end up getting a award or reward. You might have even, I keep getting the sense that you might have, like, your boss or your supervisor might have even like talked to you before about maybe you needed to work on this, or maybe you needed to work on that, and gave you feedback that was like, you have to more improve on a certain area. But I feel like you did the work. I feel like you really followed through, and I feel like you you did your thing. So I just wanted to let you know that I feel like it's going to be really good news, and you're going to hear good job. And I do feel like you're going to get a potentially a raise or something, a bonus raise or some kind of thing. Yeah, so I hope that helps you. But I want you to have confidence, and I want you to just go in and be yourself, and I think that it's going to go well. I hope that helps. So that's all the time we have for tonight. I know a lot of people have been talking about different things here I can't see on Facebook. I'm sorry for your loss again, Monica. Oh, Leah. I'm not sure if it's Lee or Leah. All right, I'm going to do one quick card for Lee. And good job, Desiree. That's awesome. And I'm so excited that you found my post. That's very cool. Lee is talking about a daughter struggling with severe anxiety. I just feel really guided to help this person, hopefully giving some kind of help. So I want to pull a card for Lee. And then we're going to, I'm going to pull one card at the end, like I always do in my broadcast, okay, that will give us guidance for the week, okay? I'm gonna just pull a quick card for Lee. Daughter struggling in anxiety. What does she need from me is what she said. So what does Lee's daughter need from her in order to succeed, to feel better, to heal? Okay. It's kind of what I was getting intuitively, but it's cards always just reflect. Yeah. Okay. All right, Mama. So remember, this week is mothering. If you guys didn't catch that, this is the Mama and the Dad week. You know, the maternal and paternal planets are kind of helping us out here, Lee. And everybody on Monday Night Community is so loving and supporting. Everybody's going to send you lots of positive vibes for your daughter. Okay, so please hear when you see the title of this card, please hear that I'm not saying that you're doing this, but this is what the card is. You got to correct your mistakes. So what I feel, Lee, is that sometimes what we do when a loved one is struggling, and I'm just going to tell you, I am 100% sometimes, I do this myself, okay? I have had to learn. It's something I work on all the time, is you can't solve the person's problems for them, even when they are our daughter or son, okay? Especially children, you love your children. God, you love your child so much, you want to help them. So you're going to try to go make suggestions. This is what you should do, and this is how you do it, and this is go do this and go do that. But sometimes that makes the anxiety worse. So you have to accept what is. And what I feel like, so when I say correct mistakes, I don't want you to try to fix what's going on. Instead, you have to accept, okay, this is what's happening. Instead of trying to get her to fix it and solve it, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and all these things, I want you to just validate her. If she says, I'm really anxious right now, I'm scared about this thing, oh, it sounds very scary. That sounds really hard. I can see why you would be upset. Validate her feelings back to her. I know it almost sounds like being a therapist, but that's going to help her, because accepting what is, if we try to fix and we try to meddle and because we're trying to help our loved one, right? I mean, it's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from an awesome place. And being able to laugh at yourself, this is called laugh at your demons. And probably she needs to do this a little bit too. You know, we all need to not take ourselves so seriously and be able to go, I'm imperfect. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So being able to laugh at, I'm not laughing at her, obviously, but just kind of being able to go, okay, I tried to fix that. I tried to maybe give too much advice. So the best thing, what she needs you to do is just be there. Just validate. Accepting this is what it is actually, in a weird way, moves the energy. I know it feels like it's stagnant, like, oh, you mean I gotta do nothing and I just gotta stand by and watch all this? No. It's about being actively confirming and affirming for her. That sounds really horrible. Empathetic listening is a way of like really just naming what she's feeling and just saying like, that sort of stuff. Not do this and do that and fix this and fix that, and because that kind of creates like more anxiety for her, and it doesn't help your relationship, and then it ends up, I feel like, in fights or something. So, oh, that feels really horrible. That feels really, bad. So, and just taking better care of yourself, laughing at your demons. Okay. Because we all have things that we do. And look, I'm 100%, if I have a friend, a loved one, somebody that's struggling, I can get into that fix it mode. And a lot of people do that. But we don't want to, what we want to do is we want to just validate her. And that actually, in a weird way, can actually let the energy sort of break apart a little bit. Okay. And that you can even say, you know what? Thank you so much for sharing that with me. Like, I didn't know that was how you feel. That's acceptance. See, she's having a lot of shame around her own anxiety. She's having a lot of shame. So when you tell her, oh, well, do this and do that, she feels broken. She's hearing it. She's hearing this with ears of shame. Okay, so she's, if somebody says, well, what you're doing is not right, you got to fix this. Not that you're doing that, but I'm just using that as an example. She's feeling broken already, so that's like affirming I'm broken, right? So if you just accept her and go, wow, that's really tough. It's really tough. You're having a hard time. I can see that. I can see you're having a hard time. Thank you for sharing that with me. That makes me feel good that you felt comfortable around me, you know? And I can tell you you're great, you know? And you can just kind of affirm, okay? Even that, I can tell you you're great, sometimes can be a little out of when you're that anxious, you can, because you can spin that out and go, no, that she's lying to me now. Now she's lying to me, you know? So even getting back into just like, you're really brave for saying that. You're really brave for going to school. You're really brave for going to work. You're really brave for all that. That can be enough that can help, because I feel like that can, the other way, results in these power struggles, and then you feel like you're in shame, and then she's in shame, and nobody's happy. So we want to just accept, oh, that's where she's at. Okay, I love her where she is, right there. You're right there. Oh, you're having this panic attack. I'm loving you. I'm loving you just like, okay. She's 11. Yeah, I had a feeling she was younger. She felt like she was a little younger. So you can just say, oh, having a problem? Okay. Just we're gonna just sit with it. And that, believe it or not, can, because then all of a sudden there's nothing to fight against. There's no struggle. She doesn't have to struggle. You don't have to struggle. Nobody has to feel bad, because everybody just loves where we're at. You know, we're loving the person through it. So I hope that helps. Life can be complicated, right? Sometimes a little bit. So what do we need to know about this week? Because we got mom and dad, Ceres, the great mother, Saturn, the great father. Okay. Then we got Mercury, which is a sibling, a peer, a cousin, a teacher, a student, right when school's about to start. All coming together, okay, in one triangle. Grand Air Trine, okay, in the air sign. So if you are an air sign, you will be feeling this. And if you're a fire sign, you'll be feeling this even more. You might have more struggle if you're an earth sign. Earth signs might feel this in a little contentious energy. But air, water sometimes can be contentious with air too, because look what air and water are like together. We just had that hurricane, right? Whew. So what do we need to know about this week? What's the best thing the angels want us to know? I'm going to be using my angel cards. What does the angels need us to know that's most important about this week ahead? Perfect. You know what to do. Archangel Uriel. You know I love Archangel Uriel. You know what to do. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Remember, the whole time, this whole really is listen to your own feelings, okay? Listen to your, how does this feel? How does this feel? How does this feel? Okay, and then we can know what to do. Archangel Uriel comes to us always with a lantern or a candle or a light. In other words, he lights the way ahead. He shows us, he illuminates our path. So as long as we stay connected with what we want, and we don't get pulled out to sea with what other people want, because there is a little bit of a pull this week to acquiesce, to accommodate, to bend backwards for someone else's will. If we can stay in our lane and follow our own feelings, still from a place of love and a place of caring and a place of honesty and all that stuff, basically it's one of those things that we will know what to do because we're following our own hearts. Okay, so that's the advice for this week, and probably every week, but especially this week for sure is the advice. I always say you can't go wrong as long as you're following your own inner compass. Trust your intuition. I'm always talking about that in sessions. Trust your own guidance and trust your intuition. All right, everybody, love, lots of love. Thank you so much for watching Monday night. It's a pleasure and an honor to do this for you guys. I started doing it last year in the middle of the crazy pandemic. I'm still going strong with it, and I just appreciate you guys so much. So thank you again. If you need to have a personalized astrological reading with me, please feel free to send me a text message, and go ahead and make sure next Monday night I'm not going to be doing a live broadcast. I'm going to do a pre-recorded, and I'm going to be posting that on YouTube. So mwah. Okay, lots of well wishes, and thank you for joining.